Okay, so the Philadelphia Eagles select Andrew Mukuba here, Texas safety, who we're going to get into the film in just a second. He's a player I really like. I think he does a lot of nice things and should be able to help out the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, they traded away C.J. Gardner-Johnson this offseason, which was a controversial move, a move I wasn't crazy about personally, because I'm like, hey, he's a good starting caliber safety, like not a superstar, but a player who's played well for them last year. And now they needed to fill that void, essentially. Well, this is a player who should be able to fill that void. And right off the bat, you're looking at this for Philadelphia. Getting two good defensive players when they did lose some pieces defensively is a great way to help mitigate that damage, I think. So, yeah, ultimately, again, is it fair to expect him to come in year one and be a great starting safety? I mean, that's going to be difficult, right? You're always going to have some trouble. But I think he's a good player, and I think that he will, at least at some point, be able to help out things. I think a criticism some people might have was, is he the best safety in this class? He's the best safety available. You have Xavier Watts, who many people, he was a consensus top 50 pick. He's still on the board. He doesn't get selected. Kevin Winston Jr. was projected to go 10 picks ahead of Andrew Mukuba. But I think once we get into the film, you'll fully see why they made this move. I actually had a much higher grade on Mukuba. I believe I had a fringe first round grade on him. I think this is a great pick, so let's talk about why. So let's start off with this play, because Mukuba is definitely one of the things that he is maybe, I feel like one of his best attributes is just how well he sees the field. So like this play, for example, the graphic is actually going to maybe cause some confusion, so sorry about that. But essentially, he is in charge of covering closest towards the bottom of the screen, more over the middle. Now, you might be wondering, well, why is he basically at the middle of the field right now? Well, that's because there's only one eligible receiver towards the bottom half of the screen, towards the offense's left, and that there's a corner on that guy. So essentially, you don't need to be over there. So he's in position. Just the graphic's a little weird, so sorry about that. Now, there's a route over there, but even everything I'm saying about, well, he doesn't need to be all the way over, I mean, he still is the guy closest towards the bottom of the screen outside of the corner who's all the way over there, and you have a player on the top of the screen. This is going to be not something you expect him to pay attention to. Well, when this play begins, you're going to see Mukuba looks over, and essentially he's just reading the play. He's seeing who's going to get over to his side of the field. Because again, I think a lot of times college players essentially just stay where they're at. But here, he looks over and says, okay, well, I need to get the guy who's going to end up coming closest towards me. And ultimately, that's what he ends up doing. He reads this play, and he gets an interception with an incredibly athletic play. You see only 6 feet tall. Well, he plays like he's 6'5" on a play like that. I mean, that is a great play. Like, that's a superstar level play to not just be in position. If he knocked that ball away, if he just was in position for a tackle, I'd be sitting here and saying, hey, wow, really good job, really good awareness. The fact that he got all the way there to get an interception, I mean, that is just remarkable stuff. Also, I want to talk about his physicality, right? How well can he come in and make tackles? Because ultimately, he just isn't a big guy, right? Like that's just something you have to pay attention to. He's 190 pounds, 6 feet tall, not the smallest in the world, but like, okay, listen, he's not, every now and then there's like a weird guy like Antoine Winfield who's small but also is like somehow really physical. That's not really his game, but he does okay. Like, you'll definitely see the plays like this, which aren't ideal, which is, so, he's going to be blitzing on this play, and I don't know if I see him as that much of a blitzer. Watch as he's going to come in off the edge, and, there's some contact and kind of just gets brought down. I think he actually did run into the quarterback there, so, hey, I guess you get a pressure, the quarterback hit. That's good. But ultimately, that wasn't like a dominant pass rush rep, right? Like, the physicality isn't his strong suit. But I will say, for things like this, where it's going to be a running play on this one, you see where he is on the field. Watch as this is going to be a well-blocked play. So now Mukuba has to, come up and make the tackle. And that's not what you want to do. You're a free safety. You're there in coverage, hoping you get a pass deflection, maybe an interception. Now, all of a sudden, thanks to your team in front, you have to tackle. You're already annoyed about that. But ultimately, he's fine in these situations. Watch. He makes the tackle. Actually makes a pretty good tackle, I would say. Like, he's not someone that's going to be, like, unplayable because he's not physical enough or anything like that. It's not a strong suit, but, like, it's fine. You're cool with it because of how good he is in coverage. And I would say as well, something like this, his good reads can still help him out in these types of plays. Like, for example, this situation, it's going to be a wide receiver screen play. He's the one who I've circled in white, and just watch him on this play. Watch how he just kind of reads this quickly enough that he's able to get over. And, like, listen, is it a highlight reel level tackle? I don't know. But it's a highlight reel level result because he got in position to make the play work. So ultimately, like, he's still a smart enough player to add value in these types of things, and even works in the running game with this kind of stuff. But also something like this. So let's get back to the coverage. He's not just someone who can cover in zone. Like, he can cover in man as well, which is one thing I like about him. You know, in the NFL, a lot of times you have to be able to cover guys one-on-one, and this isn't some nobody he's going up against. This is Colston Loveland, who many people feel is a first-round valuable player, right? So they're going up one-on-one against each other, and these are tough routes to cover too. However, when this play begins, you're going to see that right here. So he starts the cut, but Mukuba is right with him. I mean, does not give up much of anything. It is not giving up a ton of separation. Now, this ball ends up going elsewhere, but what we already know about Mukuba's ball skills probably wouldn't have worked out too well had it gone there, so maybe it was right call by the quarterback to not put it in that direction. So ultimately, he is just someone that, to me, I'm not going to say he checks every box, because like I said, he's a little bit smaller, and I think that's maybe why some people aren't as high on him. But ultimately, like, I think sometimes we overthink this stuff, where it's like, look at all of the great things he does. The fact that he's only okay when it comes to tackling is fine. He has such good ball skills, such good awareness when it comes to zone coverage. He can cover guys one-on-one, and like I said, still will make the tackle when it's in his area. So, like, ultimately, I know kind of a one-year wonder, but, like, he's just a player I really like, and I think is getting massively slept on. I think that for the coverage purely, I would maybe take him over maybe any player in this class, which I know is a hot take, but I don't think it's that crazy. His coverage, when it comes to safeties, his coverage is just, like, spectacular. So, yeah, as a whole, I'm a really big fan of Andrew Mukuba. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about his game? Always love hearing from y'all, and of course, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video and want to hear more of my thoughts, well, for one thing, you can check out my movie channel. Yes, I have a movie channel. You can check the link in the description below. I do some fun things like some movie reviews, even some TV show reviews, tier list, fun things like that, so you can check that out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and paying attention to this channel, as there will be plenty of draft content. I plan on making a video for every first-round pick, many of the other picks throughout the draft, and also I will do recaps for each team after the draft is over. So I will eventually talk about every single pick from your favorite team. Be on the lookout for that, as it will be out this weekend. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Jackson Kruger, or X, whatever you prefer to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching till the end of the video.